Hello, beautiful sisters, and welcome back to the Discover Yourself series. We are in day 23, and our topic today is purpose, another landmark that I absolutely love to talk about. So, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Heather Baxter. I'm CEO of HB Women's Ministry. I'm your friend, your teacher, your pastor, and I love to teach the word and encourage you in the word. Right now, we're in a series that's 30 days long. I'm kind of calling it the winter arc and going with the trend that's on Facebook because I love the idea of getting away, kind of locking yourself up, and reinventing yourself, reinvesting in yourself, realigning many truths, whether it's spiritual, physical, something in your social life or career, coming up with a plan or a purpose or something to exercise in these last 30 days before we launch ourselves into 2025. We will mentally be so much further ahead, starting and getting our mind thinking about a lot of these things now. It's not like we're going to enter into January and feel lost. So I'm hoping that these 30 days are encouraging you. So today we're going to launch into purpose. I'm going to read from our journal books. If you don't have a journal book, head over to heatherbaxter.com. Right at the top of my website, you'll see a page that says free journal. If you click there, the download is available for you. It's a really nice download. I always tell everybody the front of it looks like this, which is the cutest picture to put in a frame, just to remind yourself that you have a purpose, you're not an accident, and you are on an adventure, even through the valleys, even through the challenges, and on all the mountaintops. So head over there, grab that. Also, we are focusing here in the ministry right now on quarter four, which is the final quarter of 2024. So we're looking at our life wheel. The idea of this 30-day challenge is for you to take a verse, take a thought, really examine it, then plug it into something in your life wheel. I'm giving you ideas how to do this. Now, today's topic on purpose is an overall understanding that you were created before the universe. You were already in God's mind with a plan and purpose. When we understand the word purpose, which we're going to discuss today, you're going to feel a sense of urgency or sense of calling in every area of your life wheel. So if you're excited to continue, keep watching. A lot of self-help books will get you going to say, okay, let's start looking within ourselves. Let's discover within ourselves. You'll notice that the series is called Self-Discovery. Discover yourself. But what do we start with every single day that we have one? We're on day 23. We start with a word, but that word is attached to a truth. Because if the Creator created you, He knows exactly what you're designed for. We are not meant to search within without God's connection. We have to begin with God, our Creator, because He knows the reasons to why He created us. And when you understand that, life will never, ever be the same. And I'm hoping that the 30 days are challenging you to help you understand that your life should never be the same. That God is with you through the thick, through the thin, and He has an absolute amazing plan for you. I'm hoping that these 30 days are taking you within yourself on a spiritual journey, and it's creating some wisdom in you to see things from God's perspective. A lot of times, the verses that we're studying are going to answer some of life's most challenging questions for you. I know you may not like to hear this when we talk about the word purpose, but your life is far greater than just you. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about your own fulfillment. It's not about your own peace of mind or even your happiness. It's far greater than your family. It's far greater than your career. It's far greater than your children. It's far greater than your activity or something that you're really good at. It's far greater than your talents. If you want to know why you were placed here, if you want to know your purpose, you have to start with God. I'll be honest, I think the search for purpose in most people have puzzled them. And I remember a season when I was going through life just wondering, what is my purpose? Graduated with college with a degree, didn't even feel a sense of purpose in it, was kind of lost all the way through college. And this again was outside of my faith in Jesus Christ. When I found my faith in Jesus Christ, there was like a wiring. Like somebody came and rewired everything in me and plugged things in. And I was on an adventure to figure that out. God was revealing gifts in me, was revealing my talents in me, was putting me through situations and really reshaping my calling. really understanding who God is first is going to help you in your purpose on this side of heaven. I feel like I went through half of my life asking myself so many selfish questions. And I think a lot of kids, a lot of young ladies and young men do this right before college. What am I supposed to be? What am I going to do with my life? Where am I going to go from here? What is my dream? What is my future? What is my ambition? We were made by God and for God. And until we understand that, life will never make sense. We will try things. We will put on different hats. We'll try on different suits. We may change our personality. We may change some of our traditions because we will never feel fulfilled. Now, I'm going to take the word purpose and now I'm going to jump in to the topic of driven. A long time ago, and I'm actually going to post the video below here. I have to post this video. I spoke up in the mountains of Colorado. My daughter was a snowboard racer. As a matter of fact, she was 13th in the nation. And we were up in Colorado, up in the mountains, and she was border racing that day. And I loved snowboarding back when my knees were really good. I loved the snowboard and go way up there. My husband and I would go and just take the mountains down and just enjoy the scenery, and getting way up above the clouds sometimes was amazing. Well, one day I decided to film when I was there, and I filmed on the word driven. I want to say this had to have been about 10 to 15 years ago.
Hey, thanks for joining me today. I'm Heather Baxter, and we are here in colorful Colorado. Welcome to the Rocky Mountains. I want to talk to you today about a champion's heart right here in Copper Mountain. Let's talk about a champion's heart. You know, on the way here, it was such a long drive. We spent 20 hours in the car. We're here because it's race week for my daughter. She's racing in the national championship for snowboarding, border cross, giant slalom, and slalom. So we're here around a lot of champions, people that have set high goals. And so just on the car ride here, I was thinking this. It was such a long drive that I began to think that a champion is so driven to meet their goals and to reach their dreams. They're driven. How do we go after our dreams? How are you driven?
I spoke about the word driven, D-R-I-V-E-N. What is driving you? How are you feeling driven? And I want you to check that video out. It's an old one. I'm in my old little snowsuit. I'm up in the mountains. But that word and that message still exists today. God has also created you, but he's also driven you with a purpose, with a calling. He may be driving you with a message through something that you have came through. A lot of times our purpose and how we're driven was through a pressure, through a problem, and even a deadline. You can be driven by a painful memory, a haunting memory. We don't want to leave being driven by our worry, being driven by our grief, being driven by our shame. For several seasons of my life, I was driven by shame. When I finally healed in Christ Jesus, and I learned to forgive myself, and I learned to forgive the past that wasn't even lining up with God, God reversed everything, even my shame, and brought beauty for ashes. So we have to say, okay, my purpose and my drive is not in my anger and my resentment. My purpose and my drive is not in my past. My purpose and my drive is not going to be that I need approval from others. My purpose and my drive is not allowing me to run from fear. I have self-worth. I am confident in him, in Christ Jesus, who's going to do exceedingly abundantly and above all that I can ask, think, or imagine on this side of heaven. My focus has to be on that purpose. When I know my purpose and I know that I can endure all things through him, and I know that he will change my story, that changes my life. Our character is developed by tests and challenges in life. And a lot of times we'll say, why, God? Why? God is using you. Sometimes you have the biggest driven purpose in your pain, so God can use you to prepare others for eternity. We are not here forever. This is not our home. So this is not our home, and our home is in eternity. Yes, God's going to prepare you for eternity here, for the gifts and the celebrating and everything that's going to happen. You are getting prepared for here. Your test is also going to be allowed for somebody to see, so that they find purpose through you, and then through you, they figure out their purpose and their calling, and you're the one that points them to God. That's how everything works on this side of heaven. It's all going back to God's glory. As a matter of fact, yesterday was the big reveal here in town where we do the lighting ceremony. A lot of towns had their tree lighting ceremonies. We have window reveals. So every store in our town, they use wrapping paper for the past week, and everybody resets their windows. resets everything so you can see right in the window what's in that store, but they have to decorate it seasonally. Totally up my alley. I love looking at the storefronts after they do their seasonal switch. So all the windows were decorated last night. The paper comes down at a certain time, and all the stores have their big window reveal, and all the lights come on. It is so fun to go and look at each window and their display and their products. And what draws me in the store, what draws me in to want to see more, is what I'm seeing in the window. You are a window display for every single piece, for every single person that walks and passes by your life. Especially in the season of Christmas. You may be going through pain and you may not want to go out. You may not want to hang out with people. Your purpose may be to fill with God and to drive yourself out to those events. Be driven to go out there because somebody needs to see the face of God through your sickness, through your pain, and through your grief. That's your story. That's your story. It may not be immediate healing, but you're going to find your healing in your calling. So when we put our vision boards together coming in 2025, we have to remember that our vision boards are going to be founded first in Christ Jesus. Our purpose is there, and then he will begin to hardwire every area of your life. He may take apart the puzzle because we have pieces jammed in that are not supposed to match. We think they match, and you can put a puzzle together and think that piece goes there, but it doesn't. And God may take a whole season or a whole year to pull that piece out and repurpose, rewire, reinvent your wisdom and your mind and your emotions so you can line up with his will, his purpose. And that, my friend, will drive you in peace and in joy. Let's read today's verse together and close here. 2:10, for we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Purpose is often seen as the divine plan that is set forth by God. Our ultimate purpose is to glorify God in all that we do. Biblical purposes encompasses fulfilling God's plans, glorifying him, serving others, and living in alignment with his will. Now, down at the bottom, there is this remember this. And what I'm challenging you to do is when you see the verse Ephesians up there, you see the topic purpose. I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to help you be a little bit of a Bible student here. This is a little tip. Let's do a tip and trick in Bible study. I would love for you to take that word purpose at the top today. And I would love for you to put in Google or somewhere all Bible verses that have to do with purpose or the purpose in my life. Wow. You can spend the whole weekend or the whole week or a whole month just on that. Pull up those verses. I have one here for you already to start you out with. You can write that down, but maybe take some time because purpose is power. Purpose is like fuel to your spirit. When you begin to read more about purpose and write things down more about your purpose, put up little stickers in your mirror where you get ready in the morning to remind you of your purpose as a mom and as a wife, as a friend. And I promise you, that'll catapult you into 2025, just understanding purpose. All right, beautiful sisters, I pray today drove you and encouraged you and empowered you to look into your purpose. Don't forget to check my video out down below of my old ski video talking to you about the word driven. I love you, beautiful sisters, and I will see you tomorrow in day 24.